I'm going to tell you about this little watch I got in. Actually, I got in all these Raggedy Ann watch and a Mickey Mouse watch and a Cinderella. But anyhow, they're all real old watches, especially this Raggedy Ann. This must be like 1930s or maybe a little older. And then probably 50s or 60s on this batch of watches. And it came in a bunch of works. And I haven't bought any works, at least in quantity, for quite some time. And this guy and I had talked about it, and I only paid $6 for the whole batch, but there didn't really seem to be a market for them. But I'm probably going to have to give him considerably more, because I think we found some treasures here. But we're going to test it here, and we've talked about wristwatches in the past quite a bit, and how you can find hidden treasures. Now, this face on this thing is clearly silver, but it was in this closed up case and extremely hard to get open and extremely hard to get the works out of the watch. So somebody had just never checked it out. And you have to look at it with a loupe, because everything on the face of the watch is written extremely small, but it's Tiffany Company. But the case is what is marked Elaine. Yeah, Elaine Watch Company, number 35. The works are marked Probus Scafusia 55231. But the way the face is made to come off of the works, to work on it from either side, basically, is the way I'm reading that, which is pretty unusual. The mechanism locks into a gear onto the shaft and is actually not connected to the shaft to allow easy access to the front of the watch. And so I just kept working with it to get it out, and there are no markings on it other than that Tiffany on the face, and I have looked it over well, but based on what we've talked about before, the patina and the overall matching color of the case, I think we found a treasure here. And it has some odd corrosion on the back, but you know, I've inspected it and I think it may just be like a sticky substance, and whoever got it in didn't really inspect it close enough to see. I think we're all aware that in the turn of the century, 1900, Tiffany Company was not accustomed to putting out trash, and this is a very old watch, so I'm thinking we're talking a good piece here. Now, I see no discoloration. At the very least, it's got to be an exotic metal. It's got the right tone, and in several places of heavy wear, it looks like perhaps there was a marking removed, or perhaps the marking was really light and just got naturally wore off. Let's give it a check. I think we're talking a 14 karat white gold watch here that was missed by the guy that we all aspire to be. He's a extremely knowledgeable picker these watches, and cut him in on the take because $6 was not nearly enough to pay him. He represented it to me as just a bunch of junk watches and didn't make a big deal of it, but there's a lot of really nice stuff in here. This Waltham, for instance, extremely nice condition and an unusual watch for sure. Second hand and a very pretty face. Actually, probably saleable, and I know the Tiffany is, and that still may be, you know, I haven't looked it up yet, but that's probably $100 watch, I'm guessing, regardless of the fact that it seems to be either a Tiffany very low-end market piece giveaway, perhaps, or an antique counterfeit. But the quality tells me that that there's something very special about it. And you know, back then they didn't put that much importance in gold because all watches were gold for the most part. That was some kind of a space age revolutionary metal that was going to revolutionize the jewelry business, and represented it that way and sold that watch for big money. So I could be way under the money on that, and we'll know later when we look that up. Anybody knows anything about these Boulevard? I know almost every watch works here, and there must be about 40 of them. Came out of a gold watch, and I'll be putting these on, but that Boulevard, I know that came out of an 18 karat gold watch, and this Jules Jorgensen was also out of a gold watch. I sell these in batches on eBay, and recently, you know, there's a steampunk market for these kind of little pieces of gear work and such. So regardless, I think this batch will probably do decent. I don't get in too many. I think when I do get them in, I get them in big batches. They're normally picked over, and this is kind of a rarity to find a antique Tiffany and Company piece in one of them. But and the Hamilton and the cartoon watches. But the cartoon watches, they do come around quite a bit. I think they're fun. I had presumed about this piece, and then I looked it up online, and all I could find exactly like this was a yellow gold one from the UK, 1945, and it was 9 karat gold. And then I got, because when I use the 10 karat acid, it reacts exactly as 9 karat should. And so the case is 9 karat gold. I don't know if that's what the 35 inside there is referring to, 333, and maybe they've rounded it. Probably not. See some what look like may have been markings on the outside edges of this, and maybe it was marked there. Odd piece. I'll be putting that on eBay soon. Probably a lot nicer if I could show you that without the crystal. You know, if I was going to guess it, I'd say it's something more like 8 karat, not 9. Especially since it's Tiffany. Maybe some, you know, they tried out a lot of exotic metals around that World War II era. That's when Cremets started making their own line of actual gold replica metal, and that stuff's a fooler to this day, although it doesn't test out good like this. Very unique piece.